In the tense waters of the Middle East, a dramatic new claim has sparked global attention and intense debate. Iran says it has successfully struck one of the most powerful symbols of American military strength, the United States Navy aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln. The United States, however, strongly denies that any such strike ever happened. The conflicting claims have raised serious questions about what truly occurred in the waters near the Strait of Hormuz and the Sea of Oman, a region already under immense pressure due to escalating tensions between Iran, the United States, and its allies. To understand the gravity of this moment, we must first understand what the USS Abraham Lincoln represents. The vessel is one of the United States Navy's massive nuclear-powered aircraft carriers, part of the Nimitz-class fleet. These ships are among the most powerful war machines ever built, capable of projecting military force across entire regions. Stretching more than 1,000 feet in length and carrying thousands of sailors and airmen, the carrier functions as a floating military city. On its deck are advanced fighter jets, surveillance aircraft, helicopters, and some of the most sophisticated defensive systems ever designed. When an aircraft carrier like the USS Abraham Lincoln enters a region, it sends a clear message. The United States is prepared to defend its interests and its allies. In recent months, tensions in the Middle East have risen sharply. Military confrontations, airstrikes, drone attacks, and naval encounters have created an environment where even a single incident can rapidly escalate into a wider conflict. According to Iranian military officials, their forces launched missiles toward the USS Abraham Lincoln as part of what they described as retaliation for previous U.S. actions in the region. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, commonly known as the IRG, claimed that their anti-ship missiles and drones successfully targeted the carrier. Iranian media outlets reported that the attack forced the American vessel to withdraw from its operational area. These claims quickly spread across international media and social networks, fueling speculation that one of the world's most heavily defended warships had been hit. But the United States quickly responded. American defense officials firmly rejected Iran's statements, saying the USS Abraham Lincoln had not been hit by any missile and had not sustained any damage. U.S. Central Command stated that the missiles launched by Iran did not even come close to the carrier and that the ship continued its operations in the region without interruption. This sharp contradiction between the two sides highlights a familiar pattern in modern geopolitical conflicts: the battle for information in today's digital world. Military confrontations are often accompanied by information wars, where each side seeks to control the narrative and shape global perception. Iran's leadership has long emphasized its growing missile capabilities and its ability to challenge U.S. military presence in the region. Over the past decade, Iran has invested heavily in developing anti-ship missiles designed specifically to threaten large naval vessels like aircraft carriers. These missiles are often described as carrier killers, designed to strike moving ships from hundreds of kilometers away. Iran's military doctrine relies on asymmetric warfare, meaning it focuses on strategies that can counter technologically superior forces. Instead of trying to match the United States ship for ship or aircraft for aircraft, Iran focuses on missiles, drones, and fast attack boats capable of overwhelming enemy defenses. From Iran's perspective, demonstrating the ability to strike an American aircraft carrier would represent a significant strategic victory both militarily and symbolically. For the United States, however, the implications are equally significant. Aircraft carriers are not only military assets but also powerful symbols of American strength. The idea that one of these ships could be successfully struck by an enemy missile would carry enormous political and strategic consequences. This is why American officials have strongly rejected Iran's claims. According to U.S. military statements, the USS Abraham Lincoln remained fully operational during the time Iran said the strike occurred. American officials say aircraft continued launching from the carrier's deck and that the ship remained on mission supporting regional operations. In addition, U.S. defense officials say there is no evidence that the carrier was hit by missiles or drones. Independent verification of either claim remains extremely difficult. Journalists and independent observers rarely have access to active combat zones at sea, especially in regions where multiple militaries are operating simultaneously. Satellite imagery, intelligence reports, and official statements often become the primary sources of information, and these sources can sometimes present conflicting narratives. Another complication in the modern information environment is the rapid spread of misinformation. In recent days, several videos circulated on social media claiming to show the USS Abraham Lincoln on fire after a missile strike. However, fact-checkers later determined that the footage was either old, unrelated to the current situation, or digitally manipulated. These misleading videos illustrate how quickly false information can spread during times of crisis. While the exact truth of the alleged strike remains unclear, what is undeniable is that the broader conflict in the region continues to intensify. The Strait of Hormuz, located between Iran and the Arabian Peninsula, is one of the most strategically important waterways in the world. A significant portion of the world's oil supply passes through this narrow channel every day. Any military confrontation in this area has the potential to disrupt global energy markets and affect economies around the world. Aircraft carriers like the USS Abraham Lincoln are often deployed near the Strait of Hormuz precisely because of this strategic importance. Their presence serves as both a deterrent and a reassurance to allies in the region. The carrier is not alone. It typically operates as part of a carrier strike group, which includes guided missile destroyers, cruisers, submarines, and supply ships. Together, these vessels form one of the most formidable naval formations on the planet. Each ship in the strike group contributes to layered defenses designed to protect the carrier from threats like missiles, drones, and enemy aircraft. Advanced radar systems can detect incoming threats hundreds of miles away. Missile defense systems can intercept hostile missiles before they reach the carrier. Fighter jets launched from the carrier itself can patrol the surrounding airspace and neutralize threats before they get close. Because of these defenses, successfully striking a U.S. aircraft carrier is considered extremely difficult. But military analysts also note that modern anti-ship missiles and drone swarms are becoming increasingly sophisticated. Several countries, including Iran, China, and Russia, have invested heavily in weapons designed to challenge large naval vessels. This evolving technology is one reason naval warfare is changing rapidly in the 21st century. Whether or not the USS Abraham Lincoln was actually struck, the incident highlights the growing risk of naval confrontation in the Middle East. It also underscores how quickly tensions between nations can escalate when military forces operate in close proximity. In recent years, there have been multiple incidents involving drones, missiles, and naval encounters in the Persian Gulf. Ships have been seized, oil tankers attacked, and military drones shot down. Each of these events increases the risk of a larger conflict. The current dispute between Iran and the United States over the alleged missile strike reflects the fragile balance that exists in the region. For Iran, projecting strength and resistance against American military power is a central element of its strategic messaging. For the United States, maintaining credibility and deterrence in the region is equally important. This is why both sides are so determined to defend their narratives in the absence of clear independent evidence. The world is left with two competing versions of the same event. Iran says its missiles struck the USS Abraham Lincoln. The United States says the missiles never came close. For now, the truth remains somewhere within the fog of war. But what is certain is that the waters of the Middle East remain among the most volatile and strategically important places on Earth. As military forces from multiple nations continue to operate in the region, the possibility of further confrontations remains high, and each new incident carries the potential to reshape the balance of power in one of the world's most critical geopolitical arenas. The story of the USS Abraham Lincoln claim is not just about a single missile strike. It is about the fragile stability of an entire region, the growing competition between powerful nations, and the role of information in modern warfare. In an age where narratives can travel around the world in seconds, the battle for truth can be just as intense as the battle on the battlefield. For now, the world watches closely, waiting for clarity in a situation defined by uncertainty.